One of the things that has kept the Xbox Series X and S in this console generation console war is obviously the fact that the PlayStation 5 is going to be hard to come by, and it's still going to be hard to come by for years to come. This has worked out in favor of Xbox. Now, truth be told, and I don't want to say this, I really hate to say this, but PlayStation seems to have everything figured out, and no matter what they do, it seems like the things that they choose to do are what the masses want. Regardless of what Microsoft does, Microsoft seems to do everything in their power. They offer the world to gamers at a fraction of the cost, and it just seems like it never works out well for what they're doing. You know, it is really unfortunate, but I do want to talk about this a little bit because this news came out yesterday, and I find it to be fascinating because it really kind of tells you all you need to know about PlayStation and where they're going and how they're going to get there. This is incredible stuff. And what does it mean to Xbox? I think I'll have an answer to that a little bit later on, but let's get into this little bit of news first. So we want to get into this by talking about the unprecedented demand. Now, that's easily for Sony to say. We have unprecedented demand for the PlayStation 5. But they also have a plan to end the shortage where people can't find a PlayStation 5. During an investor briefing, Sony Interactive Entertainment head CEO Jim Ryan offered a blunt assessment of the PlayStation 5 stock situation, saying Sony's ability to supply the market with its latest generation console is the one area where we've fallen short of expectations. In the next breath, however, he promised that much better days are ahead in terms of console availability. The thing is, the shortage is not a cut and dry situation. It's not just a silicone shortage at play. But what Sony is actually experiencing an unprecedented demand for the PlayStation 5. During its first year on the market, the PlayStation 5 outsold the PS4 during its own first year of sales. But then in the second year, the PlayStation 5 dipped below the PlayStation 4 in terms of performance due to supply constraints. COVID-19 took its toll on our supply chain in 2021, according to Jim Ryan. The situation is, however, starting to improve. Although COVID-related uncertainties persist, specifically in the impact that's going on with lockdowns in Shanghai and Beijing, according to Jim Ryan. That's the bad news. The good news is that, according to Jim, the situation is definitely improving, to the point where he and Sony expect the PlayStation 5 to close the gap versus the PS4 in the third year and then leapfrog ahead in the PlayStation 5's fourth year on the market. Key to this happening is a significant ramp-up in production. And he said the following: beyond that, we're planning heavy further increases in console production, taking us to production levels that we've never achieved before. That's easy to say, but Sony doesn't have a magic wand it can wave magically to make more PlayStation 5 consoles appear on the market. It may not need one though. Sony claims that they're sourcing from multiple suppliers, and it's going to be in a better position to navigate unstable market conditions. It's also banking on logistical negotiations to optimize the PlayStation 5 delivery routes themselves. But is it all lip service? Well, time's going to tell, though Sony obviously has a vested interest in supplying as many PlayStation 5 consoles as possible. Looking at the actual game monetization, spending on PlayStation 5 titles is 15% higher than PS4 when it came out. Sony is also seeing higher engagement on PlayStation 5 with players actually spending more times on game and spending more money overall. What this all means? Well, it actually means that you might actually be able to buy a PlayStation 5 this year or next. Fingers crossed anyway. For those of you who already managed to get one, you know, man, congrats to you. It is a quality console. Now, you might wonder just how much demand is there for what's going on with the PlayStation 5. Now, here's the interesting part. When they talk about unprecedented demand, they really mean it. So they put up this graphic yesterday: purchase interest in PlayStation console 1 year after each console's launch, North America only. So the PlayStation 5 in November 2021, 55% expressed interest in PS5 compared to 28% in PS4. Now, sell-through time of 80,000 hardware units at U.S. retailers, end of first year, PS4 versus PS5. So PS5 U.S. retailers sold PlayStation 5s at a rate of nearly 1,000 units per minute. So they're selling 80,000 units in 82 minutes. With the PS4, they were selling 6 per minute at the same stage in the product lifecycle. So it was taking them 9 days to sell 80,000 units. Think about this for a second. 80,000 units in 9 days or 80,000 units in 82 minutes. That is some crazy demand. For me, I'm thinking, man, what the heck is going on here? Is there some game out that I'm missing? It's like literally, I don't quite understand the demand for it, aside from it being PlayStation. And I think that that's cool, you know, that people want to buy a PlayStation, and that's like what the name in and of itself does for itself, right? So I do think that that's something that people should kind of keep an eye on. Like, Sony has done such a great time of, you know, going out there and making sure that gamers have the content that they want, making sure that gamers have everything that they need, and getting gamers excited about the future of the platform as well. Now, they do a good job of hyping things up, although I do feel a little bit less hype about what's going on with the with this right now, but I still also think that, you know, we could see some changes come in the future where, you know, we're going to see PlayStation and Microsoft sort of battle things out in a little bit different way. Now, for me personally, I love the fact that consoles are doing well. That's the most important thing to me personally. Like, a lot of people don't understand that, but yes, you know, I do think that this is something that gets everybody excited. You want to be able to, you know, have great games coming to your platform. You want to be excited for the future of the platform, and what exactly is that going to be? I think that that's something that Sony and Microsoft have to figure out for themselves. But Sony gave a clear plan forward. Whether or not you like it, I think that's up to you. But they're investing heavily in new IP going forward. They're going to invest heavily in putting games on PC. I know that, like, for me personally, the things that I like best about PlayStation in the past were the fact that they didn't mess around with PC, and that they had a real focus on the single player exclusive games that are high quality. And if you want to ask me what I disliked about Xbox, it's that they didn't have hardly any single player games, AAA games, and they tend to focus on games as a service, which tend to be incomplete at launch. And that's just a fact of nature, right? Almost every games as a service game you can think of or bring up has been suffering from some kind of content issue or some kind of issues, like Rainbow Six Siege, Halo Infinite, you know, PUBG, even Fortnite. That launched in beta. It didn't even have the Fortnite multiplayer that we're used to right now. So that really kind of tells you everything you need to know in terms of what they offer and what they can do to change things over in the future. But yeah, it's a very strange situation, and, you know, Sony has a clear-cut path. Again, I'm not as big of a fan of, like, games as a service. You know, they want to have like 10 or 12 of these types of games. You know, like, sometimes something will hit that I like, but a lot of the times, man, I just like the single player stuff from Sony, and it seems like most of their company is working on something with multiplayer these days. So, you know, how do I feel about that? Listen, I don't really know yet, but we'll see what happens when the time comes. You know, I want to see Sony succeed. I want to see PlayStation 5 succeed and Xbox succeed. I want to see these consoles sell tremendously well, because it just makes sense for them to do so, and then that continues on with console gaming. That's going to be the difference going forward. With that being said, I'm going to link all of this in the description below. You guys can check that out. If you do enjoy my content, which hardly anybody does, I'm sure, because nobody watches, but leave a like on the video. It helps the video to be seen and the channel to grow. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you very much for watching one of my videos. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer out.